and welcome to another episode of Picture Shows and Petticoats. I'm Elizabeth. I blog at elizabethmichelle.com, and you can find me on Twitter at elizabethmel.
And I am Jennifer White from inwhichiblog.com, and you can find me on Twitter at Jennifer White. So this is episode 7, United States broadcast, but it really actually is the season finale of the UK broadcast for season 4.
Yes.
So,
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
There was a lot. I didn't take. You took. Jennifer's a note taker. She takes wonderful notes, and I just write things and put exclamation points out beside them.
Have delightful conversation.
So, goodness, we had a lot of things.
We started off with the tenant farmer, checking on the baby little piggies,
the pigs.
And Edith suddenly develops an interest in the management of the estate, and so she decides to tag along and join them. It's just all of a sudden, pigs and estate management is Edith's thing.
That's her thing. Yeah. Well, she really liked that tractor, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's very true. Mm-hmm. Maybe she had a hankering, which obviously she did, because after one conversation with the tenant farmer,
she had decided she wants this guy to take in her baby.
Yes, and he's so trustworthy. He would never tell anyone after one conversation.
And why does he have a wife?
She doesn't know.
What is? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Is it baby brain, or is she just? She is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Her hair looked pretty this episode, but
it was pretty good hair.
Her brain was not.
So the tenant farmer thing is so not going to work, and I'm glad that finally.
Aunt Rosamond to the rescue. Oh, Switzerland.
Yeah, that's the most brilliant idea.
Why didn't she suggest that the first time that Edith sat down with her?
I don't know.
Why didn't when Edith stood up at the altar, why didn't somebody say, hey, let's go on a trip.
Let's go. Because that's what you do. Whenever you experience something traumatic like that back then, you just go.
Well, when you're welcome.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
So, they're talking about that, and Granny totally knows that something is up. Because Grannies always know. My Granny always knows when something's up with me. She does.
She knows when your horns are growing. Not your head.
I don't have any horns on my head.
When your halo is misadjusted.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about that?
So, Granny knows.
Granny knows. We need a t-shirt for that this week. Last week it was Bates knows. This week it's Granny knows.
Oh. And she calls them to her home for an audience to discuss.
And it was an audience.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely set up.
Yeah,
that's not a dining room table situation. That's not lunch. That's a court.
Yeah. She made her say it.
Well, I would have too.
Yeah.
It's good for the soul.
It is good. It's good to say, the thing that's, whatever you're not saying. Because once you say it, then it's out, and then you're free. Free of it.
Yeah. It's not killing the baby that makes you free. It's the being able to deal with the situation. It's not just the baby that is the situation. It's how did you get into this mess, and how do we need to keep you from, or how can you keep yourself from getting into it again?
Right.
But I also didn't understand. I mean, I kind of, I can understand from a filmmaker's point of view maybe why they were kind of doing what they did last week, but I still felt it was very weird, unless it's baby brain, and somebody else can answer that question, because I've never been pregnant, but why she would go from one week she wants to kill her child, and then this week she says repeatedly that she can't live without it, she doesn't want to be separated from her child once it's born.
Well, okay.
How did she get there?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, because having known people and, experienced a little bit of life myself, I understand the feeling of, oh my goodness, what do I do? I cannot survive this, and I have to get out of it some way. And still not wanting that at all. Not wanting,
being in denial.
I think it's just being completely torn on, this is my child, and I love this child, and I want this child, but my current circumstances don't allow me. Societal pressure, I'm telling you. I mean,
right.
And I think what that says is that she never, if she didn't feel like society would have made her give that, that's what she feels like right now, right. Is that society insists that she give her child up in one way or another.
Right.
So I don't think she wants to.
Right. Well, okay, so from a filmmaking point of view, I would have liked to have seen, how did she get to that place? Did she have a moment where she was holding baby George and all of a sudden
it would have been good.
It just melts her heart. She's never really been Aunt Edith. She is Aunt Edith. It's not just Mary's baby, but doesn't she love baby Sibby?
I'll tell you what,
she loves Sybil.
I think it's because this show is so crowded with characters now that they don't have room,
right,
to tell all those things. Because I think that if we looked at Edith P. Gordon Edith,
right,
that makes sense to me. That we saw her as a nurturer and someone who
taking care of the soldiers,
and we've just kind of left that behind. So, yeah, I think that there's too many people on the screen that have too many stories that they've got to tell, and it would have been really nice just to see her.
Yes, and it's such an important storyline. I mean, because this is the kind of thing. I would almost think that pregnancy would happen more often even than rape, but I don't really know necessarily. Can't really speak to that.
I don't know.
But yeah. And then I also had a thought, I don't know if I tweeted it or not, but maybe I was blogging or something, but I was thinking, it's like last week, Edith was really focused on self-pity. She was really focused on herself. And as I was thinking about it and writing about it, I just realized across the board, that's when people get into trouble. It's when I am focused on myself is when I screw up the most. And that's when I do stupid things, is when it's all about me. So she needs to get outside herself. She needs a project. She needs to help somebody else.
She's gonna, well, I guess she really can't. She has to go to Switzerland and have a baby.
Switzerland.
Okay, I need to know what month it is. The bazaar. What month is the bazaar happening in? Because next summer, the summer of 1923, is going to be Rose's coming out. Ball party.
Which
presentation
will be what the Christmas episode is all about next week.
Yes, no, I know, because I looked ahead. So the finale is that.
Finale? I'm so sad.
Do we have any plans yet?
Might just be you and me, baby.
Do you want to come over?
An appropriate Downton attire.
Do you want to come over here?
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll live broadcast ourselves watching that. We'll just see our faces and whatever reaction we have. It would have been really great to have that last year whenever we watched Matthew die.
Oh no!
I think I was screaming.
That was so bad. That was so bad. No, I don't think I would have wanted a camera on me then.
No? Well, so I want to know how much time is going to pass. Is Edith going to have already, is this spring of 1922? Is it fall of 1922? I'm assuming that 1923 is the next year, but I'm not entirely sure. So Edith could have already given birth and pledged her allegiance to the Nazis, and I don't know. Here's a project for her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right. We also have Lord Grantham, still in America, dealing with the Teapot Dome scandal.
Okay. Do we know what that is?
I didn't look it up.
It's not my history class that I took. The one history class in my whole life.
All I know is that I didn't take enough. I didn't take very much. I didn't take any British history, so anything that I have comes from world history and
it's pre-17 something, right?
Yeah.
Pre-1776. That's all the British history is.
No, it really is. It really is. So, and I guess next week we're also going to get to see Cora's brother, Harold. Yes. Uncle Harold. I'm so excited. Alright, what else do you have? You have so much here.
Well, there are a lot of characters, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
So Bates knows.
Bates knows. Mary now knows who it is. And she has to take care of business because that's what Mary does. She has to. She can't just.
She's the White Knight.
I mean,
she's the lady of.
Yeah.
The lady of the night.
And I'm so glad. I mean, I knew she probably had 2 reasons for going to London when she did. She has so much stuff to take care of. She's got everybody's business on her plate.
Yes. You know what was cracking me up was when Cora came into the library or the parlor or whatever it was, and she's like, "This list of things I have to do is terrible." She calls it a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And she's standing there in the room with Rose and Mary, Mary doesn't know about Edith either, but the Edith situation and the Rose situation are both going on, and Cora thinks she's the one that's in a nightmare. If only she knew. But you go ahead. So
well, okay, hold on though. How have no other women guessed that she's pregnant? Because women, often know that sort of thing. I'm just surprised that her mother hasn't figured it out. Maybe she doesn't have morning sickness or anything.
Maybe it's the same reason why Cora has never made her go away on a trip before. Maybe it's the same reason why Cora is just not engaged.
Does she pay attention to her kids at all?
Granny takes off running when the grandkids come.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
But Cora's
the squalling. Okay, I'm skipping around. But when the baby was crying and everything, and Granny she's not digging it.
I'm out of here.
Blake holding the baby. Did you take the quiz?
What quiz?
Which Downton Bachelor is best for you?
No.
Yeah, I did. Guess who I got?
Oh no.
What do you think I got?
The baby holder?
Yeah.
The pig hero, the baby holder.
Ugh. It's perfect. I'm Team Blake. What are you?
I am Team Mary.
Good grief.
And if I had to choose, I might swing more Napier, but he's not very realistic, so.
Is he not?
Well,
I feel like he is more realistic in that
he's more like that.
As far as what everybody would think she needs, I think that more people would go Napier, but
the big question is would he step up if he had to? I mean, he obviously knows that he has competition.
Napier?
Yeah.
He doesn't really seem into the competition thing, whereas Gillingham and Blake are.
Maybe his strategy is like a Survivor reality show.
Yeah, let them kill each other off, and then I'll come in.
Last man standing.
Yeah, no, I just love Blake, and Misty pointed out something that's very, because of the differences, it's not quite a Sybil Branson difference as far as class, but he's a working guy, and he's a gentleman, but he works and he has interests that are not, I think, typical to a gentleman, and I think he challenges her. And
she doesn't go drinking around the Highlands?
Okay.
I love Granny.
What did you write down? Did you write down what Daisy said? Did you write down the funny thing that Daisy said?
Which part? Oh no, I didn't.
I love Scotland, me. At least I think I would if I'd ever been there. So she's so silly.
The kitchen maid's trying to impress the valet.
Oh, she's so silly.
That's fabulous. Yeah, no. But Blake, I don't know. The whole thing about how rotten he is when he comes in the door and how rude he's just rude. He was rude to Mary last episode, and I'm not talking about, their social beliefs clashing. I'm talking about just genuine politeness. Mary thanked him. She didn't have to thank him for coming out to say goodbye to her father. And he was like, it was Evelyn's idea. I didn't want to be there. And then this week, I think it was actually right before the babies came in the room, Mary apologized to him. She said, I hope I'm forgiven for my behavior toward you. And he's like, what did he do? He just sort of blew it off, but he never apologized for his behavior. He never said, I hope I'm forgiven. I was such a, crumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he's like, here, give me your kid. No.
I've already said I like disagreeable men. So that's probably
he is disagreeable. I will agree with you.
But I think he challenges her in a way that's really good.
She challenges herself.
Okay. So what else you got?
Sorry.
That's fine.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about next season. Do we think that maybe Tom will eventually get politically interested again and run for office? Is that a potential storyline? I mean, let's say that he marries empty chair girl, Sarah Bunting, who now has a name.
Mm-hmm.
And who apparently is a teacher in the village, but we've never seen her before, ever. And now she's everywhere. She's on every street corner there is. But let's say that they hook up.
Okay.
Do we think that as the agent and now married to a political person that he might be interested in that?
I don't know. I mean, they don't agree politically, right?
Well, he's really saying that he doesn't know where he is anymore.
Okay.
So, I don't know. But I was looking at him this week, and I was totally cracking up because he really does play a political figure, even without holding an office. I call him Ambassador Tom. He's an ambassador for the upper class to the lower, and an ambassador for the lower class to the upper.
It's true. He really, and I never expected him to make arguments for, to like argue for his new family and
let me go change into my white tie, Granny's coming.
Yeah. Oh. He's definitely changed.
He's grown up.
I know. Oh.
Okay, so maturity has become him very well. Mr. Blake has a softer side. I tweeted.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like a commercial for a department store. The softer side of Mr. Blake.
Yeah. I'm telling you. But I do like Lord Gillian. As far as like, if I have to choose who I want to look at for another 2 seasons, Lord Gillian.
Team Mary. I'm Team Mary. Okay. Then we also have Alfred returns. Poor Alfred. He needs a friend right now.
And he realizes too late that how much Daisy loved him. I mean, it didn't change his mind or anything.
How worthy she was.
Yes.
Of being loved. But his dad has died. His mother has moved. He started a new career and he's living in a new place. So he's got a little bit of stress going on. And he's having to say goodbye to everybody and everything.
Yeah.
So he tries to hang on to Ivy.
But not having any of it.
He's decided to flirt with him again because that's always his idea.
I love what Mrs. Patmore said about you're an awfully optimistic generation.
Yes. Ivy doesn't want to get married.
Well, she's not sure it's time to tie herself down.
I just don't know what the world has to offer. Get a book.
You're a kitchen maid. Probably the best it has to offer in 1922 is a husband. That's not very feminist of me, but
no, but it's very true. So,
you take what you can get.
She is dumb as rocks. I won't go back to my previous statement.
Oh, by the way, we're having Irish breakfast tea and it's delicious. She never brought it.
It's powerful. It's got big muscles. It got 4 out of 5 leaves for caffeination.
Oh, okay. I already had 3 cups of coffee this morning.
You did? Oh.
Yeah. Well, but I'm not really feeling it. It's
You'll be
weird.
very productive.
Last time that I drank a lot of coffee before the show, it was a very whoa show. I didn't realize it until I watched it with it.
If we're talking too fast, that's why.
Sorry.
But, okay, so Daisy doesn't want to be there when Alfred comes back to say goodbye to Ivy. So she gets an invitation to Mr. Mason's farm. I'm so happy to see Mr. Mason.
I like him. I know you do. You're like his #1 fan.
I want a Mr. Mason for myself. Someone who's wise
I just
and caring. Uh-oh.
It can stay down there. I don't need it. I'll just play with it. It was a really good conversation that they had together, Mr. Mason and Daisy, because I think he makes her for some reason he's able, well, goodness, I mean, it's a little bit contrived, honestly, because he always has this really great advice, but maybe that's just how he is, I don't know, but
he's old.
He's
lived a long time.
He's old.
He's made all the mistakes.
Mm-hmm. But, he tells her what she needs to hear, and
don't leave anything jagged between you.
They need to be friends.
Be above board and honest and out in the open with people.
And it's good that she's mature enough that she can do that, because sometimes, that's a hard thing. Like, when you love somebody and then they don't love you back, and then
Alfred's not really worthy of her right now. I think he's getting there.
He's a little bit immature. The fact that if you're going to propose so quickly to...
She said hi to me! Will you marry me? Yeah, he's not quite ready yet, but he's getting there.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think, just like you said, I think it's very big of Daisy to accept advice like that. I think if Mary were sitting down trying to give advice to Rose,
Daisy's so much more mature than
Rose would just be like, whatever, why are you talking to me? But the fact that Daisy can listen and actually cares about what he says, I think that's cool. So he fixes her a basket to take back to Alfred and say goodbye.
Jams and pickles.
And then she gets the nod from Carson. You may exit the room. I love that. I need to learn how to do that.
Just nod.
It's just like...
I don't think you need that.
Carson was just quite the little boss this week. Telling Jimmy John James to go take care of the tea tent.
You just make your life more comfortable. Oh my goodness. The way he was just like down in that chair, he's totally ready to take a nap.
He was asleep in like 2 seconds. And Carson's like, get up.
Mosley and Baxter. Come on. I mean, and I don't like her so much because of her affiliation with Thomas, but now I think we can really see that that's based more on whatever brought her into the house, and that she doesn't,
which we still don't know.
We don't know. But I don't think she wants to give him all this information. I think she feels like she has to for whatever reason, and I think it's sweet, and she's so encouraging to Mosley, and he needs somebody like that in his life, and it's wonderful. And I know that I talk about how much I hate him, but
where did his backbone come from this week?
It's because there's this woman there who's paying attention to him, and and oh my goodness, the way he is whenever he hits the mallet on the
I know! Season 3, season finale. It's a cricket match, and he bites it hard. Season 4, season finale, he hits that little mallet.
Oh, maybe they'll get married. Sorry, I always just get excited when people get married. I know that everybody has to get married. It's fine. I love weddings.
Well, let's do that. We haven't had a downstairs. Well, we did have Anna and Bates wedding.
Yeah.
We're ready for another downstairs wedding.
Yeah.
We could do that. But she went onto my good list, period, when she told Mosley exactly the truth that he needed to hear, that Carson has not been able to communicate because Carson can't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But that Mosley is a very lucky person, no matter what his struggles have been with his job, not being able to make ends meet, not knowing what tomorrow's going to hold. The future was certain, and then now it's not. And she's told him, you're lucky because you have people who respect you, you have a respectable family, you live in a village where people like you. You're very, very lucky.
She's saying exactly what he needs to hear, too, because he's the kind of guy who needs somebody to believe in him. And so I know, but when you see the way that this just makes him, it just improves him so much.
Yes, I totally agree. It's almost like he's practically a different person just because one person said something kind.
I think his love language is words of affirmation. Oh! That's fine.
So we like that storyline, we're good with this. We want to see more of that. Oh wow.
I know we kept commenting on the clothes this time, and
yes,
we're really gonna have to just go back and talk about clothes probably some other time. But there were some great clothes. I love the royal blue that Rose wears.
Yes. I think it would be a really smart thing to do. I mean, just for me, as somebody who cares about film and wants to be a better viewer and better screenwriter and stuff, I think it would be great to watch Downton Abbey and then rewatch it for dialogue and for storyline, which is what we do every week. But then I think it would be a really good idea to put it on mute and just look at the detail that they went to with the scenery and the cinematography, the shots, the way they set up the rooms, the way they set up the costumes, the lighting.
I think really I've got to get a hold of the DVDs because I think I only have the first 2 seasons on DVD, and I need to get the others because I feel like we get such a chopped up version. I mean, it's not all bad or anything. Don't get me wrong.
We just have a lot of time between viewings.
Well, not that. It's that they cut it to make the transitions a lot quicker. When you watch it on DVD, everything is much. When they transition to a new scene, it's not always so abrupt. They cut a lot of the stuff out to cut down on time for us.
Okay, so it's a different broadcast version in the US than is in the UK. Okay.
Yeah. So
the DVDs are the UK version, or do they make 2 different?
As far as I know, we get the UK, the original.
I think that's a brilliant idea. We should so do that. Everyone should own all of the DVDs.
This summer, we're going to go through and we're going to rewatch the first series, and I have that on DVD, and you have not seen that yet, and you are going to be shocked. It's very interesting and modern.
Modern.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm referencing? That's what Thomas said whenever he got back from America. Well, I know what that's code for. I won't say what I said whenever I watched it.
Thomas did have this mysterious air about him when he got back, and Bates gives him this look. Do we think that Thomas is going to go to the United States to make his way in the world?
I think probably whatever he experienced in the United States makes the United States very appealing to him. And so I think he'll probably...
Here's the prohibition.
You like that? Just don't say at all what I'm thinking. And Jennifer has to keep me in line.
That's not true. It's the other way around. Reel me in.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, Rose.
Yes. Rose and Mr. Ross. I love Mr. Ross. I like him.
I do too, and he's a good guy, and I think he does love her because,
he deserves so much better than her.
No kidding.
All about money. Money.
She's what? We've talked about her age over and over again, but she's acting like she's 15. It's like how I wanted a boyfriend with an eyebrow. I wanted a boyfriend with an eyebrow ring, and so this is her version of an eyebrow ring.
That's probably the 90s. The eyebrow ring would be the 90s. Right now, it's probably...
Oh, not now. That's what I meant. Whenever in the 90s, whenever I was, 14. Yeah.
Some people are so young in this room. I just have to say.
Yeah.
They're so cute. You just want to squeeze their cheek. Sorry. Okay, so back to Rose and Mr. Ross. So I just thought he was being a charmer. I just thought he was flirting with the first girl that he saw.
Well, I'm glad that he figured this out before. I'm glad he has a good mama who told him the
harsh truth.
And he does love her. You can tell that. It's unfortunate.
And he's so easygoing. He's kind of got the Daisy thing going for him because he knows that the Lord of the Manor is descending upon him. And he's not worried. He just takes it in stride, and he's able to have a conversation with Mary. And he assumes that Mary's going to attack him and give him grief about loving Rose. And she lets him talk, but he also is able to hear from her that if it were a better world, she would try to stop him.
They really make this PC, though. Honestly, would this... I don't know if the family would... I'm sure that there are people in that position who would have that sort of attitude, but I don't think it's as pervasive as they made it. Like Branson saying, not that there's anything I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I saw Rose kissing on a black guy, that's what he said, I don't think.
But the look on Branson's face, though.
Oh, he thought something was.
Yeah, I was like, you're the Irish revolutionary. I really would have thought that he would have been Rose's best friend helping her behind the scenes.
Yeah, forget about it. No.
So, if I was going to be disappointed in somebody, it probably would have been Tom. Matthew would have just walked right into that cafe and said, Rose, how you doing?
Yeah. He would have done that. Yeah. Yep.
But Tom doesn't know where he is right now, so I don't know. I'm not going to give him a pass, but I like Mr. Rose, and I would like for him to be happy.
Mr. Ross?
Mr. Ross, God.
He is kind of Mr. Rose.
He is Mr. Rose. You're so right.
Okay, we haven't even talked about it. Oh my goodness gracious, Green is dead.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Okay, so I think the automatic assumption that people are making is that Bates did it. Which Bates? I had someone tweet to me, and I wish I knew, I could remember who it was, but I saw a tweet whenever all this was happening Sunday night that, what if it was Anna? Because she was in London all day, and she was by herself because Mary was out at, I don't think it's her because the shock. Well, not the shock.
Around him without being afraid.
Yeah, I don't know.
She hasn't moved to the angry stage of her dealings.
No. I don't know.
But, okay, so then my question is, I think that it's the fair thing to do is to say, did Bates really actually do this? I know that he wanted to. I know that he's capable of it.
Mm-hmm.
But did Bates really do this? Is he Jekyll and Hyde? Is he really capable of jeopardizing, like Anna said, jeopardizing everything they fought so hard for?
Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing, I think he's smarter than that. Someone brought up to me, it was one of my friends I was meeting with this week, that maybe he had one of his jail friends. He met a lot of people in jail. Right. Maybe someone owes him something. Right. He could have called in a favor.
That's so true. And why would he have needed to leave the Abbey? Because he would know he doesn't have an alibi. How is he going to have an alibi if he's just in New York for the day?
That's something's weird about it. But I need to go back and watch Anna's reaction again when she finds out. I don't know. Because what if she's just like in a state? And,
well, if Anna did do it, I will be stunned. I will be flabbergasted.
Okay, and Gillingham is called off, but he's officially called off his engagement. Sorry, I was thinking about Greenman.
Yes.
So Gillingham is
poor Mabel Lame-Clock.
Oh, well, she seems to have taken it pretty well.
According to him, because all guys say that.
Yeah.
All guys say that, oh, she was a good sport. I ran her over with my truck, but she was a really good sport. So I really hope for her sake that she really didn't actually love him. That she
at least they ended it before they got married. He loves someone else. You don't need to marry someone if you're in love with someone else. That advice from Elizabeth. You just shouldn't. It's a bad idea.
He reminds me a little bit in this episode of the Oscar Wilde play, the one with Minnie Driver and Cate Blanchett. Oh my gosh! But it's where the guy always says the best love in the world is love of yourself, and he like makes kissy faces at himself in the mirror and wouldn't wear a carnation because it makes him look old. I'm totally right. You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
I'll find it.
I don't remember,
but it's almost like I just maybe it's because Blake is standing in the shot, and he's a working guy, even though he is a gentleman. Mm-hmm. I just have this sense that Gillingham drinking himself through the Highlands is still
the man wants a little whiskey,
immature playboy. So truly, I can't believe that he loves Mary as much as he loves himself.
Oh, and he says it for the second time. This is the second time he said, what was it? I thought. But he said something before that. Something, and she says you're equal parts.
Oh. irritating and beguiling.
Irritating. See,
See,
and
I'm going to
that's
pursue
another
you
thing.
even after you've gone to the altar with somebody else.
Well, you don't need to do that, fella. That's a little much.
I will slash your tires, boy.
We don't need any more blood on Mary as well.
I'd do it for her. We don't need any more pamooks.
She's a Black Widow. I think she's got to handle by herself. Alright, what else?
Well, let's see. It's terrible when you do your notes in chronological order. They just really don't help you at all. Okay, so we haven't talked about Granny. She is well.
Oh, yeah.
And Isabel, can you come for dinner? You'll just have to do.
Yeah, because Lord Martin's there and she can't stand him.
Can't stand him.
Which is not the case, actually. We're playing a little matchmaker here.
No, we've seen him before.
Yes, it's season 3, episode 1.
Yes.
I saw it on IMDb.
Thank you, IMDb.
I forgot. I don't actually remember seeing him, but it's been a long time.
So he's the godfather.
He's Mary's godfather. So was he at the wedding? I bet he was at the wedding.
No, he heard they were well suited for each other.
Why was he there then?
Season 3. Oh,
that was the wedding, wasn't it?
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know.
He acted like he had no idea that. He said he had no idea that Matthew was dead, but he may be one of those guys who relies on his wife to tell him everything that's happened, and his wife is now dead. So
yes, so he's now widowed
and eating nursery food
because he just doesn't know how to order food for himself from the.
You can't say I want a steak.
Yeah, he's a really good, suitable bachelor, baby.
I don't know, they could be a good match. I like the doctor.
I do too. I think that Lord Merton is going to make Dr. Clarkson look like an angel. But I also think that whether it was intentional or not, I think the light went off in Granny's eyes when it occurred to her how much Lord Merton irritates her. Mm-hmm. And we know how much Isabel irritates her.
So two people that irritate her equally.
But then it could backfire on her, because if they do hook up, then she's going to have lunch and dinner and live the rest of her life with 2 people.
You'll irritate her.
Yes. But Isabel will move away, so it won't be as much.
Or she'll marry, will they get married? Do people, I know they get married when they're older, but I don't know.
Well, sure. Isabel doesn't have to.
She's fine.
Financially, she's okay. So.
But Merton needs her.
He needs somebody to order his dinner for him.
Some guys just need a girl around.
I worry about him. But he does say something nice. He says as he leaves, he says that he envies her, that she has good memories of love with her spouse.
Because apparently he had not such a great marriage.
Yes. And he was thoughtful enough to send flowers to apologize.
Oh, those were beautiful flowers too. And hers were much better looking than the ones that Granny had.
They had Granny's off in the shadow to the side.
They weren't great looking flowers.
And I love how Granny's got the note facing her. And then she confesses that she's read it. She's a wicked.
Oh my.
Wicked woman.
You would have read it too. Wouldn't you? Come on.
Try to be a good girl. If I were bad, I wouldn't confess to it.
Oh, so you're even worse.
I'm very devious. I'm sorry.
I'll admit that when I worked a few places where flowers were delivered, and if you got to have who to deliver it to, sometimes and then maybe there was never mind. I'm not going to record something. Never mind. Go ahead.
So then, so why,
What?
Is he trying to enlist Granny's help with Isabel by sending the flowers to her? Because he knows very well where Isabel lives.
Does he?
It's like Crawley House.
Oh.
I mean,
I don't know.
There's only one Crawley House in town.
I don't know. Maybe. Interesting.
Well, back to costumes and stuff, have you noticed that Mary is wearing pale gray, and I think I saw her in something tan too.
I have noticed that things are changing.
She's still got a lot of purple going on.
Her evening gowns are tending to be
violet,
yeah. But
she just looks good in that color anyway.
It is. It's a really good color on her.
It's amazing. But then, okay, so the Lord of the Manor comes home.
I love him. I love him so much.
That's so sweet. And the way that Cora enters.
Yeah.
And he kisses her. It's so cute.
They're wonderful. And it made me think about I think we had seen that there was chatter last year about whenever Downton Abbey is over, there's talk about there being a prequel. Mm. Which would be really interesting because it's that time period where British gentlemen were having to go marry these American heiresses to get their money to keep their estates running. So,
because they can't be bothered to raise pigs.
No. Yep.
And manage their
And
estates.
as we see, the heiress's money only goes so far.
How many fortunes can you go through? Holy cow.
Yeah.
Rich people problems.
Well,
I wonder what that's like.
Have a fortune. Well, I think we probably... No? We missed something?
Well, I was just going to add that I think I'll say it for the rest, but the season 3 ended with the Downton men, and season 4 ended with the Downton women. They're moving forward. 3 of them.
Oh,
remember the closing shot last time was the cricket match, and the men are all, in their little rugby posture.
Yeah.
And then the women are suitors, a desire of suitors. That was cute.
We're both getting text messages all over the place.
We are so popular.
We are really popular. I forgot to. Anyway, well, I think it's a shorter one. No, it's longer than last week. Last week was short. It was super short.
We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we did. But I know you have. Whoop! Don't worry. You know what? I'm really shocked that I never spilled anything on camera.
Well, don't do it just for me.
Oh, I wouldn't. You saw how much I was cooking last week before Jennifer got here, and how much stuff did I drop on myself?
Nothing.
No, I had stuff all over me. Buttercream frosting.
That's funny.
So, I think we're good.
We are good.
Next week,
it's the season finale, so you need to plan your snacks. We're going to help you with your watch party. Set up your watch party time. Get people over early because they need to be quiet when the show starts.
See, that's why I'm not a big fan of watch parties, because you always have those people who are
no talkers. Don't invite anybody. Your invitation list should be brief.
Yeah.
People who are only serious fans.
Exactly.
Unless you're not a serious fan, in which case we will pray for you. But plan your menu. You need tea and crumpets.
Mm-hmm.
Something British. Turn of the century. You can use a refrigerator this time because there's now a refrigerator in town. Are we ever going to see the refrigerator?
I would love to see the refrigerator.
A period dress. You should always dress.
We'll have to see how we're going to dress next
character.
week. How will we dress next week?
Well, I know what I'm wearing on my head, but I have to figure out the rest of my outfit.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I think we'll probably broadcast ourselves live. She may not agree to it, but I'll hide the camera somewhere and it'll happen.
She's a lawyer. Or we'll live tweet. We'll for sure we'll live.
Oh, we'll be live tweeting.
We love live tweeting. It's fun. Except when I say things that are wrong and stupid.
Did you say something wrong?
Well, the last time I was the one running the live Twitter feed, I screwed it up. I had a wrong tweet. This time I had 2 tweets that I was crawling under a table about. One of them was I made the comment that Gillian, the 3 suitors were taking a train back together. Well, I wasn't listening very well to them, which is why I always rewatch. They weren't riding the train; they were getting to the car rides. Okay, so that was wrong. And then the
cars are worse than trains in this show.
Yes, they are. They're very dangerous. And then the other one was my sad for the sadness tweet. I'm not a writer. I really am not. Please.
Sad for the sadness.
I had live tweeting brain, and I had already Wasn't that was toward the end of it? So yeah, I've been live tweeting for an hour. So
yeah. Well, and maybe are we going to record immediately after Sunday?
We can.
Okay.
It'll give us another excuse to hang out again this week if we could do as many broadcasts as we want.
Whatever. We may want an initial reaction one, and then another one where we go more in depth and talk about it. So anyway, all right. I think we're good. So we will see you all next week, and
can't wait.
Yay!
See you then.
Bye. Bye.